Grab your cup. Have you had over the course of your lifetime different challenges, different things, maybe distinct patterns that you really worked on? You wanted to change, you wanted to shift, maybe you wanted to overcome things like a divorce or the loss of someone, or in terms of patterns like working too hard, getting exhausted all the time, feeling like you put yourself last. Any one specific thing or patterns that you have that you've worked on and you haven't felt like I really got the outcome that I wanted. I really moved it so that it was never an issue again, or I really feel like I healed that and moved past it. If that's been your experience, because that's been mine, I've done therapy at different points in my life for different reasons, starting from when I was really, really young, and in my 20s, and again, at different points. And I never felt like I really made the difference that I wanted to feel. And it took me a while to figure out why. It actually took me the time and energy to go into this work, to get trained to do this work, to really understand it. But I want to share this with you because if that's been your experience, you could look to see, well, how does that apply to me? So there's actually 6 different areas or different levels that we want to address healing whenever something happens in our life as human beings. Things happen and they're painful. And we have multiple layers that make us up who we are. If you're not addressing all of those, you're not going to get the results that you want. So here are the 6 levels that I want to share with you. The first one is mental. The thoughts that you continually think over and over. So if you're someone who struggles with anxiety, you're always worried. It's those repeating thoughts, that loop, we call it a monkey mind. When your monkey mind takes over, keeps you in a state of anxiety. What we say is thoughts that fire together, wire together. So what happens is we create these neural pathways where the same thought goes over and over and over. And that connects us to the next level. Actually, they're all connected because they all make up who we are as a human being, right? But the next level is emotional. So the thoughts that you think generate emotions that go along with those thoughts. If you're worrying about something, you might have emotions of fear or whatever it is, right? So emotional healing, what that means is getting the skills to regulate your emotions, to be emotionally self-regulated, and to allow yourself to feel and process the emotions that you have as a human being. It's one of the gifts that we get in this lifetime, is to have emotions. So when you allow yourself to feel them and process them and move out, and then you develop emotional regulation, that's healing. The third area would be spiritual. Spiritual is not religious. Spiritual is your connection to your inner self. The more fully connected, the more you trust yourself, the more you go inward into that inner GPS that God gave you. It's part of the design. God gave us an inner GPS so that we can connect to ourselves and to source. Our GPS, our higher self, and our inner knowing is connected to divine intelligence and what we're here to do. So the more that you heal yourself and connect inward rather than put your energy outward towards other people, the more you are spiritually healed. I hope that makes sense. And that brings me to what I just mentioned is energetically. So another level of healing is on an energetic level, because the energetic frequency that is moving through your body is dependent upon how you think, how you feel, how deeply you're connected to yourself. All of those are going to determine your energetic frequency. And if you have a low energetic frequency, meaning you live in the frequency of anger most of the time, that's the emotional frequency, and the energetic, the emotion is anger, the energy is what's actually in you. Or shame, let's say you hold a lot of shame, whatever it is, or grief, you're stuck in grief. We need to heal that so that you can move into the frequencies of peace, acceptance, joy, passion, love. Those are the higher frequencies. So we need to heal energetically as we heal mentally and emotionally and spiritually. The next place to look is physically, because in our physical body, we hold the memories of the experiences. So what you consciously think about every day, your conscious thoughts, is maybe 5% of what's actually happening inside of you. You know, thoughts like, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Am I going to go out? Am I going to return this email? What am I going to take the job? Those are your conscious thoughts, and they make up about 5%. The other 95% is subconscious. So it's below your consciousness level, and it's in your physical body. That's why I'm connecting it here with this level of healing, which is your physical level. Your physical body will tell you what's going on energetically and emotionally and mentally. Your physical body is 100% the representation of that. It's how all of that shows up three-dimensionally in your body. And it also shows up physically in the choices that you make throughout life. So how do you run your life? Do you run your life by overworking? Do you run your life by people pleasing? Do you run your life by berating yourself? How do you make the choices that you make? So that's your physical life and your physical body, what symptoms are showing up over and over. You cannot heal physical symptoms like digestive issues and chronic pain. You cannot reverse autoimmune conditions if you don't address all of the other levels of healing. Most of us as human beings go right to the physical because we're not really aware of the other, or we haven't been taught that they're so very connected. They're collapsed all together. And if you don't realize that, you'll do what I did, which is I went just for the physical. I worked on health issues. I worked on digestive issues. I tried all the diets and the supplements and the things that I thought would make a difference in my body. It wasn't until I addressed the other things first, and then what shows up in your body is what you want to have happening. Your body will respond. And what's interesting about that, or what makes sense about that to me, is your physical body is heavier and denser, right? It's physical. So it's actual matter. Thoughts, emotions, spirituality, energy, that's all much lighter, moves quicker. It doesn't take a lot to start to shift those. It does take effort and consistency. Your physical body is heavier and denser. It's going to be the one that lags behind the others. So when we're looking for evidence that we are healing, and we're still seeing things in the physical, we're either still seeing lack and scarcity, or we're still seeing health issues, that's because you have to keep working on all those other areas so that your physical experience gets pulled up to speed. You get what I'm saying? And then the last one is generational healing. So a lot of how we think and the emotional state that we live in has been taught to us by our families. And things and patterns get handed down through the generations. So generational healing, being willing to look at that, is so important, not only for yourself, but you can be the one that will break patterns in your family. You can be the one that will change all of that for your children and their children. It takes courage to be the one to do that. So those are the 6 levels. If you have not yet gotten the outcomes that you wanted, if you've been doing self-help, if you've gone to therapy, which of those have not yet been addressed? If you'd love to have a conversation about that we work on all of those in the work that I do with clients, because I found how much I was still lacking, even though I was trying so hard. And it took a lot of years. You can keep trying a lot of years, or just come and have a free conversation with us and see what all of that is about, okay? But put in the comments, if you want a conversation, definitely put that, so I'll make sure we get back to you. But also put, which areas have you not yet addressed? There's mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, physical, and generational. Which have you not yet addressed? I would love to know. Have a good day.